Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 348 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the ABS system. My name is Joey Copponi, that is Scott Neville, and the Boston Red Sox win a series in Cincinnati, except they lost it, but they won it, but they lost it. Scott, how you doing?
I'm glad we nailed the prediction. We both said it's going to be 2-1 at the end of this series.
Mm-hmm. That's actually not what we said. We were
couple details missing, but in that reframing. But we did say that there would, this series would go 2-1.
That we did land on that. They won this series, so you know what? I will actually say that we were correct because I chalked this up as a one series in the middle of Game 2 before they even lost a game of this series. I'm like, they won this series, and then after they lost Game 2, I said, oh, well, they come back and they win Game 3. Then the middle of Game 3, they're winning. I'm like, oh, this is over. Here's the review. Here's the series MVP, all that stuff. And then, Greg Weissert does what Greg Weissert does, apparently now, and surrenders the lead late in Game 3. That doesn't count. Whatever you want to call that. You know what it is? It's just another opportunity to have the 500 Red Sox, like the pod on Lansdowne picture of the lady that they post. It's just another opportunity to have that tomorrow. That's all that is. Because they won the series. All right, but we got to talk about some of the ins and outs here. What a series, Scott. The first series with the automatic ball strike system. And my goodness, did we all underestimate how much this was going to affect the game of baseball? Holy crap. I remember with the pitch clock, it was the exact opposite. We were all like, we were overestimating how much this was going to change the game and affect mentality and affect ERAs and now 2-3 years into it, it just feels like baseball. It just feels like baseball. Without the pitch clock, it would feel really strange. Automatic ball strike system has entirely changed the game and really, really, really exemplified how much better Major League Baseball players know the zone than Major League umpires. Where do we even start with this? Obviously, CB Bucknor was going to be the primary focus of today's program here. He was challenged 7 times in Game 2 of this series. 6 of those calls. Sorry, he was challenged 8 times. 6 of those calls were brought back. He missed 26 calls. 72% of his called strikes were accurate. Over 5.5% below expected relative accuracy. Just a horrific game from CB Bucknor, who faced the wrath of the one Mr. Trevor Story on a call that very deservedly so. A guy who doesn't get riled up like that. Everybody jumped right to that. The radio, the TV, everybody jumped right to Trevor Story doesn't act like that. You do not see that often. Not even because CB Bucknor missed a called strike, which is kind of his whole thing, but because his ego was too bruised by being corrected all game that he was too arrogant to appeal down to first base to see that Trevor Story obviously checked his swing. It's infuriating, man. It's infuriating the amount of control that even with an automatic ball strike system, that CB Bucknor found a way to still influence the game the way that he did.
It's also crazy that, like, to your point about finding ways to influence a game, keeping, umpires having, too much control. Roman essentially said, I shouldn't have used that last challenge in the third, not because I was wrong, but because you want to have one in the pocket to keep the ump in check. Like, he didn't say it like that because he can't, but he was saying, you gotta keep one in the holster, and it's so that the umps have to still be on their game. Now we have 100 years of baseball where they were completely unpoliced, so I don't think it's like the craziest thing in the world. But in that kind of game, I don't think that's where you see it. That's where that ideology comes from. 9 out of 10 times, I don't think an ump needs to be policed. But when you have a game like that, I don't think that Roman did anything wrong necessarily, but it shows that strategy can be useful.
Oh, 100%. So your prediction last week on this here show, what exactly did you say? Your weird prediction?
Yeah, it was my weird
Was
prediction.
it a player got banned from using ABS, more or less? There was more nuanced
there'd be a
than
controversy from being limited by ABS by the team.
So after one series, Scott, Roman has said, I probably shouldn't have done that. And Alex Cora said, we need to be smarter about when we use the challenges.
Yeah.
And then in game 3 today, Marcelo Meyer, who, listen, I understand the situation was full count, 2 out, runner on, was really, really quick to challenge a call that was ultimately wrong. It was a close one, but it was ultimately wrong. In a situation where, although medium leverage to high leverage situation, you're talking about getting 2 runners on with 2 out with Connor Wong coming up. I don't know if we need to blow the last challenge that we have right there either. So, that these season predictions that we were talking about might be coming true really, really quick, because that's it. It's proving to be an issue right out of the gate here. Connor Wong also missed one today when he challenged one that was like, what? Why right now? Cora wasn't shy about throwing the blame around, though. He did say, like, we need to be smarter about the calls, but he called out CB Bucknor as he should have. He was like, no, you have to be better than that. Which,
how could you argue?
Yeah, you have to be better than 72%. We can't be a pro doing 72% of our job.
To be fair, the players on the other side, they're successful 30% of the time. They're in the Hall of Fame, and this guy's got to be right 80+% of the time. I mean, come on. Is it really that much harder to hit a baseball from a Major League Baseball player than to identify whether it's in the zone or not?
Hey, you also got to think he's got to do other stuff too. Now
Yep.
he has to turn around and he has to turn the mic on.
Yep. And when there's a check situation, he can either defer that or take over and be wrong about it. So there's opportunity there for him to do things. He has to call, safe and out at home. And, we saw that come up.
Box, dude. Friggin' Box, man.
Box, he's not the primary guy for that, but he's there. He can do it if he wants.
He has to point once somebody else points out that there's Bach.
He had to, at one point in the game that I'm sure we'll get to, go to tell Sonny Gray, hey, no pegging in Major League Baseball. You actually have to hold on to that ball, and that's why he's not out.
Yeah. Dude, let me tell you this. The egos of Major League umpires are not going to fare well with this. People screaming and cheering on Bucknor getting challenged for, I think it was the 4th time in 2 innings. Like, it's going to fuck some people up. And,
I'll say this. The Suarez, even though we were on the wrong side of it, the Suarez at bat with the bases loaded, the back-to-back challenges, that was absolutely electric and something that baseball does really well because baseball is a slower game compared to other sports. They do a great job of like building tension. And that's just another scenario that now is in the game that wasn't before, where you now have another version of a challenge that's going to be used way more often. And as like the Reds commentators even pointed out, there were bigger eruptions of cheers for those challenges
Yeah.
than there were for the 2 home runs the Reds hit earlier in the game. One of which by Ellie, by the way, and his first of the season. And it's because you're in this. If you think about being at the ballpark and you get that strike 3 with the bases loaded, it's just like you just like exhale. It's you just lose your oxygen. You just sit down, and then all of a sudden he goes like this, and it's like, wait a minute, and then we're revived again. And then it happens again on the next pitch.
Yeah.
And it didn't ultimately even matter, but that was the viral thing going around all of baseball, but also like you said, like that is the centerpiece of what you could see with ABS. That kind of moment can now happen in the postseason or in the 9th inning, and it could, change the game. Like this ultimately didn't matter, but the next time that happens, it might lead to a walk-off double,
Yeah.
And that's really cool, and that was really interesting, and just another way that I think people will start to make baseball viral again.
Did you notice today when Lou Merloni said, what's going to happen, in a moment where it's like, oh, and the Red Sox are the world champions. Oh, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We got a challenge coming in. Hold on one sec. Oh, it's actually a ball. Never mind. And Dave O'Brien goes, or what if that happened in the World Series? And you say, oh, so-and-so's the world champions. Oh, actually, hold on. We have a challenge. It's actually a ball. We are so fucking back. We are so back. I love that. It happened like 10 times last year, but it's awesome. Lou will say something, Dave will say the exact same shit back, and then there's a 30-second silence where Lou was like, I don't know how to respond to you, man, because that's what I said. So it was awesome. You mentioned him already, but we got to talk about him, dude. Sonny Gray's first outing as a Boston Red Sox. Less than ideal. The line is not as bad as you'd think. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 1 homer. Walks away with a 4.41 ERA. No, that's not true. That's his FIP. Sorry. He walked away with a 6.75 ERA, which does feel closer to accurate. The tail of the tape here that is not told on the score sheet is that he looked like crap. Some bad baseball IQ. You mentioned it, that he tried to field the ball, bring it home, tag the runner with his bare ball hand, and ended up pegging the runner in the back like it was a kickball game.
Yeah.
Just ugly. Really, really, really did not have it out of the gate, and that sucks. That sucks because you root for a guy in this kind of situation where he's a guy who's established, big leaguer.
Yeah.
Coming to a staff where he's not at the top, but he was like a notable acquisition. And there is low floor, high ceiling. And if it was up to me, if I was in charge of Sonny Gray's destiny, the best possible thing for him is just blend in. And he certainly did not do that first time through the rotation here.
I think with that play specifically, a lot of people were getting on him for not just making the easy throw to Narv, which is totally valid. I'm not saying that's not, but that wasn't even my quarrel with that play. I think his decision to go for it wasn't that bad. It was, 1, the hesitation, and 2, obviously the execution. To not have it in the glove is crazy, and to not just go directly to he went at the runner, but you're meeting at a point, so you gotta almost like a football player, you gotta angle better. Like you're both pursuing. You gotta have a better pursuit angle there, because he had him dead to rights. He just messed up. He just screwed that up so bad with the panic that was clearly ensuing. And I know it's first game of the season, but you don't usually see that kind of thing. When they sign, I think a 27-year veteran, usually the things you expect is that those kind of plays don't happen, and that's kind of part of the I guess point form when they're talking about, wow, he's a veteran and he's a leader and whatever. So that was weird. I don't know that I always if you can avoid making an extra throw, I'm typically for that. Even if it's an easy throw, just because things can go wrong in that transfer. But yeah, he didn't obviously execute. So A very weird play, and just an embarrassing play as well. By it's one thing to not get the guy, but to end up Gronk spiking the ball by accident and then it squeaks away, and it's just it's a tough replay to look at if you're Sonny Gray going home.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, that had to be a tough clip to watch.
Yeah. And there is something to be said about settling in just on a new team. There is a mental aspect of you have to get up. You don't have to get off to a good start. It's important to get off to a good start, because if you don't, now that you've almost set up this new hurdle for yourself that you have to overcome. Like, this new chapter hasn't started yet, or the beginning of this chapter has sucked. Now I'm starting in the hole.
A storyline of, is this guy washed or whatever? If you put 3 or 4 bad starts together, we're not
especially
there
come
yet.
to a place like Boston with a lot of media attention. You come to a big market, you're under a microscope. Sure, you don't want to be the guy who struggles out of the gate. You don't want to be at all. But
oops.
Then whoops, you can't stink out of the gate. Shout out Greg Weissert. 2 home runs in his first inning and 2/3.
That's impressive.
He doesn't look like himself at all. Just lazy sounds like I'm insulting him. The ball looks lazy out of the hand. Just flat.
Okay.
Just looks flat.
Not the late life that you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Lazy life. Lazy Italian life. Mm-hmm. The Italian Greg Weissert.
I'm gonna let Copponi talk about the Italians that way, and I'm just gonna stand here.
What are you, French?
I'm sitting. I don't know what I am. A white guy.
White? No, I was afraid to ask.
I think Irish. Neville.
Yeah. You look Irish enough.
I don't have like a culture. Like, there's not one thing about me like that it's like, oh well, we do this because of
No, yeah.
This is how we grew up. Nah, it's just a white guy.
You think you guys have been here for a while? You don't have like grandparents off the boat or anything?
Couldn't tell. Not grandparents. No. After that, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea how far back we go.
Well, everybody got normal names. You got a bunch of Scotts and Johns and Joes and Mikes.
A lot of Charlies.
Charlies, yeah.
Robert, Richard.
Oh yeah, you're probably English, Irish, yeah.
Definitely Irish. Well, the last names are definitely Irish.
Mm-hmm.
But on both sides.
I got zero Italian blood in me.
I know, right? Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, that's very confusing. What are you mostly? English. That feels like a weird, pointed question.
Yeah, English, I promise. It's I'm English, Irish, French, I think, in that order.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Masataka Yoshida.
Yeah.
Speaking of, wow. Who, after 3 games of this season, had Masataka Yoshida starting as many games in the outfield as Jarren Duran? Not I. Get him in while you can. Say it out loud while you can, folks, because you're not going to be able to say it, well, probably ever again. But for right now, Masataka Yoshida has started as many games in the outfield as Jarren Duran has. He also watched 13 pitches today without taking the bat off his shoulder, and in doing so, reached base 3 times.
I love it.
Masa. Dude, I don't know if there's ever been a guy that I've rooted for with quite the flavor that I root for Masataka Yoshida, because I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. Actually, I love the team, or I want the team's success. Mm-hmm. But there's a strange uniqueness to how I root for Masataka Yoshida that is in spite of the team, because it is like the team, the organization, not the players on the field. The organization has put him in such a horrific, terrible spot that I'm rooting for him to force their hand, to be too good to DFA. That, like, God damn it, let this guy play. He's going to be so good. He's going to absolutely force his way onto the field. That's what I want for Masataka Yoshida. And also, I just want to see him smile. He's just a nice fucking person. That's what I really want. him playing the outfield today in the first inning, a ball went his way. Obviously a hit, just a blooper into shallow left, but you could tell he was pissed. Like you could say he was like kind of shaking his head, like they're gonna fucking put that one on me, dude. They're gonna say that I should have got that. That one's good. They're right now, like
he's thinking about his defensive run saved. Yeah,
yeah, I know it. I know it for a fact. Somebody just chalked me up. They're gonna try to bring me to arbitration, even though that doesn't make any fucking sense. They're gonna be like, hey, sorry, should have got this one in the first inning in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's definitely he's a guy that is strangely going to be, with one good week, like a fan favorite again, I guess. Like he is a fan favorite, but most people want him gone, and that's somehow both true. Like you're very excited when he does something good. You don't necessarily want to see him in the lineup, but you're like rooting for him differently than just like, obviously we want a Red Sox player to get a hit when he's up. But yeah, I actually like Cora's, not to totally pivot, but I actually like his game plan for the outfield. I think it'll keep everybody fresh. I think it makes a lot of sense with the defensive replacements. Rafael, when he gets a day, he can still come in the way that they're going to be like kind of shifted around. If there is, he talked about how, if Yoshida, we're in a winning close game, they're going to take him out of the outfield, put in Rafaela, move Roman to right, Duran to left. Good move.
Yeah.
And how, like, when Duran will play center, when he'll play the corners, when Roman will play left and right. Like, I think it all made sense to me. And there was I had no notes on that. So I'm very excited about how that deployment looks over the years after months of people just saying, we have too many guys, and how stupid that argument is. And I can't wait for that to be proven wrong throughout the whole offseason. Because it went all the way to the levels of, like, Jeff Passan being like, they have too many outfielders. I'm like, you're too smart for that. Like, have you ever watched a baseball season?
I just think I'm still in the camp that it's a weird place to be, to just be betting on somebody to be hurt at some point when you should just have your guys. You just have, I don't know. In a perfect world, you don't, but I don't know. I get the point. We've had the conversation already. Like I know that, like, you're not going to get what any of those guys are worth on the trade market, and you're never going to really get back their production in any way, or
there's not even a place to put it. It was always the rotation that people talked about, but now the rotation is deep.
Yeah. It's an interesting spot. It's like there are too many players, but I'm not positive that it's an issue yet.
Cora will use them all enough incorrectly. And luckily, I think, like, Yoshida is clearly the worst player of the group. And I don't think he's still good enough to play a couple of times a week easily. Like he would be an everyday player for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So there's really no one they can put in on a day-to-day basis in that lineup where I'm like, oh man, like again, it would be like Yoshida. It'd be like, man, we're going to put in Yoshida? It's like, no, that guy, I think there's a good chance he gets on base 3 times like he did in his debut. Or starting debut.
Yeah. Speaking of debut versus starting debut, I don't know if there's much credence to it, but I do have to pose a question to you. Did Alex Cora not start Marcelo Meyer on opening day as some kind of statement or slight?
I don't know. It was weird. It was so weird. And then him being kind of like the star of the day, alongside his buddy, Roman. I hope that he's just going to do enough to quickly make that platoon situation a thing of the past. Remember that one at bat? I think you could be on. I think that theory has legs.
I know Alex Cora well, in the sense that not much better than the people at home. A little bit better, but not much. I'm not going to sit here and act like we talk on the phone every night. But all the way back to the days of Eddie Rodriguez, there are guys that Alex Cora is not afraid to call out and puts his focus on. And I want to say, like, tries to draw the best out of by putting the media spotlight on them, but I'm not always positive that that's what it is. I want to believe that's what it is, but I'm not positive that's what it is. I think he's just very honest. I think he's just very there are times where he doesn't care to sugarcoat how he feels about something. So if he's pissed at Alex Verdugo, he's going to say, no, Verdugo's not playing today. And he'll tell you why. Because he's a fucking asshole. That's why. He just kind of wants to tell you what's going on. And this whole thing about there's still a lot of growing up to do, and the job's just not going to fall into his lap. There is a bit of tough love, I guess, is what you'd call it. But I don't know. I think there's something there. And then, I don't know, Meyer to use it and create the series that he did afterwards. Yeah. Hey,
I think
if it works,
at the end of the day, it was a lefty on opening day, and that the plan is to platoon Meyer. But I don't think that Cora hated that fell that way.
No. Yeah, I'm with you. I wanted to throw it out there just to see, because I know that people are talking about it and whatnot. It's just
I don't necessarily think that had anything to do with it, but it's more that I think that Cora was okay with it. If that's how it was taken.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to phrase it. The other thing I got to say here, before we move on to looking ahead, and man, it does suck that they lost the series, because it just doesn't feel like it at all, dude. It feels like they won this series. It's almost like, hey, all right, like you don't have to give us the win, but just don't count one of those games. Like they're 1-1. Just leave it there. Connor Wong looks like ass. I know he got a double in his last AB of the series, but that doesn't change that he looked like booty leading up to this. You look like you disagree with me, but
No. I was just thinking him getting an extra base hit in his first start. If you remember last year, when did he get his first extra base hit, and when did he get his first RBI? It was like something
August.
along the lines of it was so insanely late. I'm just thinking he's ahead of schedule is what I was trying to basically say. That at least we're not doing that again.
I was writing the notes for this show, and I looked up and saw that ball in center field, and I was like, "Oh, who's that?" And it cut back to second, and I saw Connor Wong, and I laughed out loud. I was like, "Come on, it's Connor Wong." Okay, sure, man. Yeah, fuck, whatever. Yeah, sure. Connor Wong on second base. All right. Yesterday during game 2, Will Fleming was flaming him, dude. He was like,
July 26th.
July 26th is crazy.
So you said August, and you were off by almost a week. Less than a week.
Crazy.
You were off by.
That's awful. That's just awful. But
almost a month. 1 month after logging his first RBI of the season, Wong recorded his first extra base hit.
He's awesome, dude. Rock on. But no, yesterday, Will Fleming is like, Connor Wong misses on the sweeper by a couple of feet. And then strike 2 comes, and he's like, and again, he whiffs on that slider. Missing, a combined 6 feet he's missed on those 2 swings. I would expect he will see it again. And the 0-2, wouldn't you know it? A third sweeper, swing and a miss. Connor Wong is retired. Wow. What an at bat. He just leaned right into it. They're like, we can rest assured, another one is coming. I was like, man, that's bold to just say that, be correct, and then be like, fucking told you. Yep. Will Fleming, he's just a smart baseball guy. I guess it doesn't take a genius to know that, but
there it is. He sucks. All right. Who's up?
Hey, I'll bet you money he fucks this one up. Whoa, would you look at that? He did it.
And the delivery, and he sucks. I was right.
Yeah, wow. No fucking shit, Connor.
He's just as bad as I said he was.
We'll be right back on the Shots and Star Market Red Sox Radio Network. Yeah, awesome time over there. I will say the worst part about Lou Merlone getting a big Nesson deal is that he's not on WEI. I want my Lou everywhere. Find a way to make that happen. If we can get on cloning Lou Merlone, folks, get Nesson to figure out cloning. That's who figures out human cloning first. I wouldn't just pass him.
Why? So we can give it to the Fenway Sports Group and they can recreate and trade more superstars? Joey, come on.
Whoa, come on, dude. What the fuck, dude?
Joey,
what are you writing for the Onion these days?
Just so we can make a couple more Roman Anthonys and then trade them for a bunch of people. Yeah, come on. Trade them for a bunch of bad players.
John Henry patents cloning machine, trades Mookie Betts again.
Yep. That's good. Man, we don't even have to pre-write our jokes, and they're just unbelievable.
Nope,
we probably should give it because people in the car, we probably just killed someone from how hard they laughed driving. You don't listen to this show on a treadmill.
No, I don't want to startle anybody during this show. That's the last thing I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks, it is 3 games against the Houston Astros. Game 1 is going to be Ranger Suarez versus Lance McCullers Jr. Ranger Suarez is the first Major League Baseball player to be named Ranger. Worth mentioning that he has a sister named Ranger Lynn. A family destined for Boston. Brandy Lynn, Heather Lynn, Tammy Lynn, Ranger Lynn. Ranger is set to make his first start as a member of the Boston Red Sox. Dude is pretty good. Lance McCullers Jr. used to be good. He has made 60 starts since the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018. Only 13 starts since 2022. Sinker and cutter are his worst pitches, have been for years, but he continues to throw them. Dude actually sucks. Game 2 is going to be Brian Bayo versus Hunter Brown. Brian Bayo ended last season in the 84th percentile in ground ball rate and a career high ERA plus of 123. He has a career ERA of 219 against the Astros, but has not seen them since 2023, which feels incorrect. Someone double check that. Hunter Brown is one of only 2 Astros pitchers to reach 500 strikeouts in his first 86 appearances alongside, you guessed it, Lance McCullers Jr. Unlike McCullers, Hunter Brown is not absolutely useless. 2.43 ERA in 31 starts last year, 4-seamer sinker, knuckle curve change. The sinker gets hit the most, but not by much. And game 3 is going to be Gary Crochet versus Mike Burrows. Oink oink, baby. The War Pig takes the trough as the mud gets extra fucking dirty. And pig pen, pig sty, pig shit, animal farm. The pigs stand on their R.I.P. Aussie. Crochet is good. Mike Burrows has a great changeup. That's his whole report. That's everything I got. 4-seam, stinks, slider, crap, curve, garbage. That change is untouchable, though. Besides that, dude sucks. And that is going to do it for your pitching preview.
Wow, what a game 3. That was electric, first of all. I just want to say that was an unbelievable game 3 you wrote up there.
Thank you. Well, listen, I let those kind of things just write themselves. Like, I just wrote Crochet riff about War Pig.
Okay.
And I did.
Wow. So improv.
All of that. I know, yeah. All of that Crochet stuff was improv, so. Take notes. Do you ever see the improv videos on TikTok? Do you ever see that? You know what I'm talking about? You don't go on TikTok much.
What they have is it? Well, hold on. This never happens. Every time you do this, I can never relate. You talking about when they all are standing like far back, and then one goes up, and every single time it's the worst, most embarrassing thing that I would never let happen. Like, yeah.
Dude, it'll be like worst doctor ever, and someone will step up and be like, wait a second, you're not my patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh my god, those are awesome, dude. Those are awesome. So
in like the worst way. Yeah.
oh man. Unbelievable stuff. Anyway, this is the clearest sweep I've ever seen. I got the Sox winning all three.
Hunter Brown versus Brian Bayo
Mm-hmm.
is scary.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at that one. I mean, Hunter Brown is Hunter Brown.
Hunter Brown's a Cy Young votes type of guy.
100%. Yeah. What I'm really looking at is the time here. 8:10. So 7:10 local time.
That's good.
That matters because I was wanting to look because Wednesday is an afternoon game. Wednesday's at 2:10.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, followed by an off day. Yuck, dude. Freaking yuck.
So many consecutive hours without baseball.
I know, dude. They don't play Thursdays this year. Like they missed like 6 of the first 8 Thursdays. I don't know what they're doing, but giving us Wednesday nights off, dude. What are they doing? Giving us Thursdays to see our families? Ew, dude. Freaking ew. No, thank you. But no, if there was a game that's in question, dude, it is that game 2. It's that Bayo Brown game, 100%.
I don't think they've done anything to excite me about a sweep yet, so I'm gonna say 2 out of 3. That's what the paper would tell me in terms of like if I just did the matchups. I'm obviously giving us game 1 and game 3 and not game 2. And I'm not saying it's necessarily going to fold that way, but that feels like the right result for this matchup.
So you're going 2-1?
Yeah.
All right. I can't believe you have no faith in this team. Chalk me up as a sweep.
Wow.
Yeah, Sox sweep. That's just what happens.
Every single time.
That's what they do. Name literally one time the Sox haven't swept.
Today.
Dude, somebody's making that song better. I don't know who got in and put a little spice in there, a little MSG on the meat, but woo! Is that tasty? I'm going to beat you to the punch. There's a new score bug. It's too big. It's too big. It's too big. It's not Nesson. It's something else. You know what, dude? It took me about an inning to notice it, and I'll tell you why. It is a hotel score bug, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. You ever go on the road, you toss on a game. You're not thinking much of it. You're watching the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars because you're in the Denver Holiday Inn next to the airport. And you're just
so far.
This happens to you all the time. And it's just on, and you don't, it feels like, well, this is a foreign thing. Like I'm stepping into somebody else's broadcast. Watching as many spring training games as we did, where you're watching opposing broadcasts because that's just how they do it, as Dan Shaughnessy got flamed for pointing out. I did just see it and was like, oh, well, yeah, like they're in Cincinnati, so it's just kind of like the Reds broadcast. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's the Reds broadcast with Dave O'Brien and Lou Merlone. And it hit me slowly that I was like, is this Nesson? It doesn't look like Nesson. Having red for the Sox and red for the Reds, wrong. The Sox should be blue. The Sox should 100% be blue. With the blue and red contrast looks great. Do the blue for the Sox. They should have consulted me. Can't believe they didn't consult me. It's a little too big, and with the placement of certain things isn't wonderful. Yes, the sponsor was big, and then like having the pitch
under. It's closest to the action, if you will.
Yes. And like, I don't know, in my mind, a sponsor like pops up for 10 seconds, then disappears. Doesn't stay there the whole half inning, and in different places. And having the pitch show up, like they like the speed is no longer on the strike zone. Like it used to be, like where the ghost strike zone is, it would say like 97 right there. Now that's up in the corner. That was throwing me for a second to have to look all over. I'm all for innovation, but let's keep innovating. We're just not quite there yet. So that was, I needed to get that off my chest. I know that people have been DMing me, asking me, they're like, Joe, what's your thoughts on the score bug?
Joey, we need to know how you feel about the bug. You mind if I hop on this for a second?
Oh, I'd love if you give me your bug thoughts.
I've had so many mixed emotions about this. One, I think I'm shocked, but also like thought it was kind of sick that they did the old stuff all of spring training, and then they just threw a whole new graphics package at you on opening day. Like you would think that first game of spring training is where we go, oh, like they were clearly just holding this, just being like, we have last year's, let's just use last year's, we're gonna use last year's, and then bam. And like I liked that. I actually thought that was cool.
Save it.
I like that. I do think you're right about the blue thing with the blue for Red Sox. I also think they got kind of boned by having a red on red game because that did make the graphic look not as like colorful and fun as it usually does. Yeah. It didn't feel like Nesson, but I did like it should be all blue everywhere. Like that's what we've been used to for like 20 years. But I did like that opening day felt like a national game because of simply the graphics package, because it was so not Nesson. So that I actually had like my initial, I usually hate change. My initial reaction was like, oh, this is actually kind of sick. This is like felt like the Netflix game or something. Like it was like, oh, this is like a special broadcast. I will say when they did, excuse you, and then my biggest reaction by far was that when they did the fielding, like they showed who's on the field, it's so much red. Like the whole screen is all red. Like the bases are red. It's a crazy color to be like everywhere. That's a pop of color, not the whole thing. So I thought that was one where I was like, okay, that's absolutely ludicrous. The rest of it, the bug is obviously too big. But some of us have 86-inch TVs, so it doesn't really matter as much.
I just think that they got to screen test some of these things. Like that, like if they did that red graphic in a room of people, like the starting lineup thing, everybody would be like, that's a lot. That's shiny.
That's so much red. Have you guys thought about this? I like that it's new. I like that it's fresh. I like that it kind of looks like you're playing like MLB The Show or something. But I kind of also want to see like Nesson graphics. I wouldn't hate if they switch it up like a jersey. I think most people would. But that would keep things fresh for me. I feel like, give me some Nesson graphics sometimes. We're playing the Pirates. Just give me the old Nesson ones. We're playing the Yankees. Let's do something cool.
Yeah. The intro video, too, speaking of something cool, this is just a straight compliment. It's good. It's good.
Ooh.
I like the new intro video. Good job on that.
Closing thought. What do you think? I'm excited. I just got excited about the new intro video in the stadium because those always are bangers. We're very close to that. I
genuinely forgot about it, that there's going to be a new song, and we're going to make a new Spotify playlist. We'll make a new Spotify playlist and put it out as I do every year. So we will be asking you guys for your help if you're there, because I'm not going to be there opening day. I'm going to be there the second series. Scott, you might be there opening day, right?
So I was 1,000% going to be there. I don't know. This is a good time of the show for this. I texted you and I said, it's going to be like 50. I don't really want to go to that. And like cloudy, not really looking forward to that. And then like an hour later, the forecast changed that both Thursday was going to be like 70 and Friday was going to be 80s. And I was like, holy shit, I'm definitely going to that. And then 10 minutes after that, it was back to 50. At one point, it said it might snow. Now it's going to rain. And I'm back on like, you know what? This doesn't feel like a good idea. I would have gone, if we committed to both going, I would have definitely gone. But I definitely want to go maybe even the first homestand at the same game. I think we should go to the same game at some point in this homestand. That would be a good idea.
Well, I am going to the Monday game, the first game of the Brewers series.
Okay.
So, if you'd like to come along, that's where I'll be during this homestand. That's the one game I've committed to this homestand.
They're going to get so many ITM sales for that just for free. Just because I find out Joey's going, now everybody's going to go. Literally going to make thousands off of that. That's kind of BS.
That's what sucks is I know that everybody thinks that I probably see like a share of that. I don't.
Mm-hmm. There's not even a promo code.
No. I mean, you can try at the gate when there is like they do accept a verbal promo code, but like when they're scanning your ticket, if you just say, ITM. By the way, promo code ITM.
You already bought it, so nothing will happen. But they'll be like, okay, they'll let you in.
They'll accept it. Yeah,
they'll let you in if you say promo code ITM. They'll let you in the stadium.
And if you send me a video of you doing that, I'll send you $20.
He'll send you 50.
I'll send you $20.
20 was like a lot. I don't even know why I had to raise that one. Normally I do that just to make
a lot.
I usually
if you send me a video of you getting your ticket scanned at Fenway and you're telling the guy at the gate or gal at the gate saying, "Oh, by the way, promo code ITM."
Mm.
Yeah, and then tag us on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, sure, $20.
Make sure to film him illegally and send it to us.
Yes, well, they know what they're signing up for. They know that people are going to be doing the ITM thing when they get ticket duty. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got, man. You got anything you want to get off? Oh, Alex Bregman homered twice today. And Marcelo Meyer wants us to believe that him fucking the air is not fucking. Okay. He did the hump. I saw his dick through his I saw the outline of your whole, his whole. No. His whole cash and prizes is what I was going to say. His whole downtown bonanza. And then he wants me to be like, oh, it must be something else. Okay. He's awesome. And his acting in that fucking ad, the windshield wiper ad or whatever. Awesome. Unbelievable. Just nailed it. You can see his eye. If you watch closely, you can see his eyes reading a cue card as he is delivering his lines. He rocks.
Yeah.
For you.
It's been a weirdly, if you look back at all the celebrations, they almost all have sexual connotations when you think about it. Even like the stories behind, like the real stories behind whatever they write up with their PR team, that's interesting. My thought, the only thing going through this brain, was my biggest concern with ABS was that I love controversy in the sports. And as we start getting more and more accurate, there's obviously less of that. And then watching real baseball, especially Game 2, and I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. It's insane. There's arguably more controversy with ABS. Like the fact that we're now able to sometimes correct every call, but then you can run out of the ability to get the call right on the field. Like it's such an insane concept to just be like, we're going to be 100% accurate about the balls and strikes through the third inning. And then you guys fixed too many of our mistakes. And so now we just go free for all and we're going to get 70% wrong from the third inning on. That's very funny to me. And also, like I said, like you worry, like to me, I worry about that kind of thing because I think as much as fans would love the idea of every game being called perfectly across all sports, you love getting riled up because you love sport. Like that's a huge part of it. It would be a boring product to just never have a gripe about anything that's happening on the field ever. Like to never just be like the umps are 100% perfect. There's no unwritten rule stuff. There's nothing bad happening. It's just like all like, yep, this is how it's supposed to be played. Like you don't want that as a fan. You might think you want it, then try it. And then
everybody wants the back and forth. I think where the line is, people don't want games decided by umpires.
Fair. That's fair, but it's also like maybe the most memorable playoff game in the last 10 years for me is when Eovaldi got absolutely screwed and we ended up losing the ALCS. Like, obviously you don't want that, but when you're talking about sports, like it is, it's a part of it. And I was worried that they're just going to make the product a little more stale when you just get every call right. But that's certainly not what's going to happen. With ABS, it's just gonna make for some interesting moments and cause a new layer of drama we've never seen. Like my weird prediction of like there will be, coaches and players getting in arguments about usage and strategies being deployed that we've never seen before. In a whole lot of that kind of stuff, and then as well as there's still check swings. There's still plenty of things you can get wrong that can't be touched by this. So I'm actually oddly happy about that because I do think that gives you. I mean, the bulk of the show was game 2 and how bad this umpire was. That's our first season of the year, and that was what we chose as the most interesting topic. And when you're in sports media, you want a little bit of controversy so you have something to say into a microphone.
Yeah. Listen, I think that there are worse outcomes than, I don't want to say than losing a game because that's like not true. There are worse times for this to happen than the first series of the year.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sure.
Still getting their footing and whatever. I like how aggressive the team is with using it. And there's a learning curve. And we'll figure it out. And I like that this is like the infancy of this new era because as we progress from here and we look back at this in 2-3 years, we'll think like, wow, we were crazy about how we used ABS. And we didn't even think about this. And we were using our challenges all in the first 2 innings. What were we thinking?
Yeah, there'll be a uniform strategy probably across like 28 of 30 teams soon. Like where like not like soon, but like there's going to be a point where
next year.
Yeah, like coaches will be ridiculed by being just like, wow, this is their deployment of the challenge system. Like this guy sucks. Like that's why this guy wasn't ready,
Yeah. 100%.
And I can't wait to be a part of that.
You got anything else you got to empty out of that fucking brain?
No. Nope. That's the only thought I had the whole weekend.
Perfect. Let's get the hell out of here then, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I stay here after I record though? Like that's like a
don't
like
move.
That's
don't
like
move,
a
don't move.
hypothetical. Like we're gonna get out of here, but then we're just gonna like stop recording. But we'll probably stay here. We usually talk about.
I'm gonna get up. I have to stretch my legs, and I've got to preheat the oven. But then I'll come back.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I just feel like there's some stuff we have to talk about, like after, like getting preparation for the next show, or how we're gonna handle the posting of this show.
You're a workaholic, dude. You just want to start the next. You want to do the next show right after this one?
Well, no, I just like there's things we can do to like content plan wise. You know what I mean? So it's just like
all right. Let's talk immediately after the show, and we'll record the next show guessing what happened.
I like that.
Perfect. All right. Well, we will see you guys. Well, you'll hear from us after, after the series, but we will have no idea what actually happened. So if we get it all right, know that we were guessing. Follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46. Just like how many bombs Willie Abreu is going to hit this year. And we will be back after this thrilling 3-game series in Houston, Texas. For Scott Neville, I am Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.